The vast universe is a cold graveyard where the light of distant stars fails to warm the infinite void. In that eternal night, silence does not signify peace. It is the omen of lurking death. Amidst the sea of black stars, a colossal structure glides forward, tearing through the quiet of the galaxy. This is no ordinary vessel forged from cold, unfeeling metal. It is a living fortress, a mechanical monster with a hauntingly organic design. Starkly different from the sleek, rounded saucers of Emperor Frieza. This ship resembles a gigantic, jagged dagger, angular and sharp. Its hull is a blend of deep violet and cold metallic silver that reflects ghostly glimmers as it passes through nebulas. Inside the main hull of the ship, darkness reigns like a king. The space is cavernous, the ceiling soaring high with biomechanical pillars intertwining like the ribs of an ancient beast. In the center, upon a throne carved from the rarest alloys in the universe, sits Cooler. He sits motionless like a statue of the Grim Reaper, his crimson eyes glowing from within the shadows of his fourth form. It is his base state, yet radiating immense authority. The air around him seems to thicken, crushed by the pressure of his malicious ki. In Cooler's hand rests a glass of dark red wine, the color of fresh blood drawn from a vein. He swirls the liquid gently while his gaze fixes on a massive hologram floating in midair. The images are flickering and distorted, yet clear enough to tell a humiliating tale. Frieza, his arrogant, younger brother and self-proclaimed emperor of the universe, is being torn apart by a golden light. It is the death of a ruler, but in Cooler's eyes it is merely the failure of a weakling. Frieza, Cooler's voice resonates deep and guttural, like the sound of metal grinding against metal at the bottom of an abyss. He does not scream, nor does he show sorrow. His cold detachment is far more terrifying than any rage. He watches Frieza's image dissolve into nothingness, his eyes unwavering. Stupid little brother, your arrogance has stained the honor of the Cold family. Cooler's hand, still holding the wine glass, tightens slightly. There is no loud explosion, only the dry, crisp sound of fracturing glass. The goblet shatters, shards of sharp crystal digging into his steel-hard skin, yet failing to draw a single drop of blood. Instead, the red liquid flows through his fingers and drips onto the metallic floor. Drip, drip, sounding like the countdown of a death clock. Cooler stands, his cape billowing despite the lack of wind. He steps over the puddle of wine, his eyes locking onto the coordinates of a small blue planet appearing on the navigation map. Earth, the place where his family's honor must be cleansed with blood. While darkness crawls from the far reaches of the universe, Earth remains bathed in the brilliant golden sunlight of a peaceful summer day. At the expansive grounds of the Capsule Corporation, the air is filled with laughter and the tantalizing scent of barbecue. Bulma, with her flowing turquoise hair and vibrant summer dress, directs a fleet of service robots scuttling about to prepare the most magnificent outdoor party ever seen. Colorful banners flutter in the breeze and upbeat pop music blares from high-powered speakers, drowning out worldly worries. Goku, Earth's greatest hero, is currently occupied with a battle of a different kind, an eating contest with Majin Buu. The two gladiators sit opposite each other at a long table piled high with chicken drumsticks, sausages, and mountains of steamed buns. The sounds of chewing and clattering plates create a chaotic but lively symphony. Goku stuffs an entire chicken leg into his mouth with eyes crinkling in delight, while Buu squints happily, turning a whole tray of food into candy before tossing it down his gullet. Not far away, Gohan is holding baby Pan. The little girl giggles as her father tosses her gently into the air, her laughter crisp like silver bells in the noon sun. Gohan, at this moment, bears no resemblance to the universe's strongest warrior. He is simply a young father, a gentle scholar in glasses and a comfortable tracksuit. He looks at his daughter, his eyes overflowing with love and the peace he has fought so long to protect. But this picture of happiness has one detached fragment. Leaning against a rough stone wall far from the noisy crowd stands Vegeta. The Saiyan Prince wears his signature dark blue training bodysuit, arms crossed tightly over his chest and his brow furrowed in annoyance. The loud music grates on his nerves. The innocent joy of the others makes him feel alienated. He closes his eyes, trying to find silence within his mind. But his warrior instincts remain on high alert like a lone wolf among a flock of sleeping sheep. He cannot fully immerse himself in this peace, for he knows that peace is merely a brief intermission between storms. And then the storm arrives sooner than he expected. Suddenly, Vegeta's obsidian eyes snap open. His pupils contract and cold sweat breaks out, running down his temples to his angular cheekbones. A shiver runs down his spine, not from fear but from the crushing weight of a malevolent power that has just entered his sensing range. At the same time, at a majestic waterfall, far from the city, Piccolo sits meditating on a moss-covered rock amidst the rushing currents. His white cape is soaked with mist, his mind one with nature. Suddenly, his eyes shoot open. Those usually sharp, composed eyes widen in shock. He looks up at the sky where the white clouds are beginning to tear apart. The clear blue sky of Earth instantly turns dark. Not from rain clouds but from a colossal shadow obscuring the sun. From the atmosphere, Cooler's ship descends like a meteor of death. The friction of the ghostly hull against the air creates a halo of blazing red fire, scorching the ozone layer. The ground temperature spikes, the air becoming dry and searing. The Earth begins to tremble. At first, it is just a subtle vibration causing the drinks on Bulma's table to ripple. But within seconds, it escalates into a violent earthquake. Plates crash to the ground. Speakers topple over and the music cuts out, replaced by panicked screams. It is a magnitude 7 tremor caused solely by the atmospheric pressure of the massive ship compressing the air as it lands. What on earth is that? Bulma screams, trying to keep her balance. Goku drops his chicken leg, his smile vanishing completely. He stands up abruptly, his gaze stern as he looks toward the horizon where a massive pillar of black smoke is rising, a key source. It's huge. And it feels very familiar, Vegeta hisses through gritted teeth. Fists clenched so tight, his nails dig into his palms. But it's not him. Colder. More ruthless, the ship does not land in the city. The invader seems to have his own agenda, or perhaps simply disdains stepping on ants immediately. It touches down in a barren wasteland hundreds of miles from civilization. The impact creates a massive crater, blasting earth and rock kilometers into the sky like a volcanic eruption. Dust blots out the sun, turning the wasteland into a hazy realm of chaos. Amidst the thick dust and the heat radiating from the red-hot hull, the ship's hatch opens with the hiss of hydraulic pressure. A wave of freezing white vapor spills out, clashing with the desert heat, as if the gates to a frozen hell have just been flung open. From within that mist, 3 silhouettes emerge. Their footsteps are heavy and decisive, stamping onto the scorched earth. It is Cooler's Armored Squadron. Leading them is Salza, the captain, with pale blue skin and wild blonde hair, his eyes sharp with cunning. He wears sleek bioarmor that reflects the dying embers of the crash. To his left is Dor, a hulking giant of muscle wearing a helmet that obscures half his face, radiating brutality. To his right is Naze, a bizarre alien with a long retractable neck and spindly limbs packed with lethal energy. In the dim light of the wasteland, their appearance is terrifyingly alien creatures from a nightmare, not standard invaders. Minutes after the impact, streaks of light tear through the sky, arriving at the scene. Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin and Android 18 land on a high ridge looking down at the Titanic ship. Goku and Vegeta have been momentarily detained by Bulma to help evacuate the outskirts affected by the shockwaves, leaving Gohan's group as the first line of defense. Gohan steps forward, the desert wind whipping his black hair and loose tracksuit. He adjusts his glasses, trying to remain calm, though his heart hammers in his chest. Who are you? Why have you invaded Earth? Gohan shouts, his voice echoing off the canyon walls. Salza looks up at the tiny figures on the ridge. He doesn't answer immediately. Slowly, he raises a hand to tap the scouter attached to his ear. Numbers dance across the red lens, reflecting in his cold pupil. The corner of his mouth curls into a sneer. Pathetic power levels, Salza mutters, his voice carrying a thick, arrogant accent. A kid, a bald midget, a Namekian, and... oh, A mechanical doll. Is this the defense force of this garbage planet? He waves his hand. No words are needed. The command is given, strike first. Kill them all. The battle erupts instantly. Knees acts first. He retracts his head, then suddenly shoots his long neck forward like a cobra, while his spindly hands unleash blinding arcs of high-voltage electricity die. Runt neighs shrieks. Krillin gasps, frantically backflipping in midair to dodge. The lightning misses him, striking a boulder behind him. The solid granite melts in an instant, turning into liquid lava. The smell of ozone fills the air, making Krillin cough. The CGI renders the electricity not just as light, but as actual lightning burning the air, creating terrifying crackling sounds. On the other side, door roars like a beast charging straight at Android 18. The giant doesn't use energy blasts. He uses his massive body as a cannonball. 18 raises a single hand to block his punch, her expression cold and unchanged. Boom! The impact creates a massive shockwave, blowing away the topsoil beneath them. Even though 18 possesses immense strength, she slides back several meters, her heels carving deep trenches into the ground. The sound of the collision is a heavy metallic clang, a reminder that beneath her beautiful skin lies a hyper-durable steel skeleton, and her opponent is equally armored. Not bad. Little girl. Door laughs boisterously, launching a barrage of punches, each heavy enough to shatter the surrounding rocks like eggshells. But the focal point of the battle is Gohan. Salza rockets into the air, moving at speeds the naked eye can barely track. He activates his signature technique, the energy blade. A sharp violet aura envelops his hand, extending into a beam saber. Let's see where you run. Salza slashes down. Gohan weaves to the side. The energy blade grazes his shoulder, slicing off a patch of fabric cleanly. The slash continues, cleaving the boulder behind Gohan into two smooth halves. Gohan realizes the lethal danger of his opponent. He begins to move fluidly, using martial arts to parry and counter. Piccolo, observing from above, sees Gohan being pressured. He raises two fingers to his forehead, gathering energy. Makenko Sappo, special beam cannon. A spiraling beam of energy fires, aimed straight at Salza. However, the Armored Squadron captain is too fast. He merely tilts his head. The beam grazes his cheek, leaving a small scorch mark. He turns, glares at Piccolo, and waves his hand, firing a volley of small but distinctively fast energy spheres, forcing Piccolo to fly high to dodge, separating him from Gohan. The camera shifts to a handheld style, shaking violently with the rhythm of the fight, creating a suffocating sense of chaos and realism. Dust, energy beams, explosions and screams blend into a bloody symphony of war. Gohan pants heavily. He realizes a terrifying truth. These are not foot soldiers. They are stronger than the Ginyu Force, stronger even than Frieza's elite guard. The pressure from Salza grows, his energy blade slashing relentlessly, backing Gohan against a sheer cliff face. It's over, kid. Salza laughs maniacally, swinging his blade for a decapitating strike. In that moment of life and death, the Saiyan blood in Gohan awakens. He remembers his father, remembers the brutal training in the hyperbolic time chamber. His black eyes flash emerald green. Never, Gohan screams, the sound tearing through the air. A golden aura explodes from his body, blowing Salza backward. Gohan's black hair stands on end, turning a brilliant gold. He has become a Super Saiyan. The sudden spike in power warps the air around Gohan. He vanishes from Salza's sight and reappears directly in front of him in a split second. Wham! A fist wrapped in golden key slams into Salza's gut. The captain's eyes bulge. He coughs up purple spittle, and his body is launched like a bullet, embedding deep into the cliff face, creating a human-shaped crater. Rocks collapse, burying him. Gohan hovers in midair, the Super Saiyan aura blazing, breathing hard but radiating power. He has turned the tide. Hope has just been ignited, but that hope is extinguished faster than it appeared. From the deep darkness of the spaceship where the hatch remains wide open, something has been watching. No warning, no sound. A death beam thin as a needle, violet black, carrying absolute piercing power shoots from the shadows. It tears through the air faster than the reaction speed of a distracted Super Saiyan. The beam pierces straight through Gohan's right shoulder. Fresh blood sprays violently. Gohan's eyes go wide in horror, the searing pain causing him to lose control of his ki. The golden aura vanishes, his hair returning to black. He falls freely from the sky like a bird with broken wings. Gohan and Piccolo screams, diving to catch his pupil before he hits the ground. Metallic footsteps ring out. This time they are slow, majestic, and 1,000 times more terrifying than the soldiers. From the misty haze of the ship's entrance, Cooler emerges. In this live-action rendition, Cooler towers like a god of war. He is significantly taller than Frieza, his body muscular and encased in natural white and purple biological armor. His long tail whips gently against the ground, cracking the stone. But most terrifying is his face. A biomask covers his mouth, revealing only red cold eyes devoid of any humanity. His voice is not high-pitched like Frieza's but deep, resonant and commanding, the voice of a conqueror of thousands of worlds. He looks down at Gohan, gasping for air in Piccolo's arms. Blood soaking his tracksuit, filthy Saiyan blood, Cooler speaks. Each word light yet heavy as a mountain. You are the son of the one who killed my brother. How disappointing. Piccolo grinds his teeth, setting Gohan down and standing to shield him from Cooler. What do you want? Revenge for Frieza, Piccolo growls, sweat pouring down his face. He can feel the horrifying gap in power. This monster is in a league of his own. Cooler tilts his head slightly as if looking at a noisy insect. Revenge, he chuckles. A short, emotionless sound. Frieza died because he was too weak and stupid. I am not here for such sentimental nonsense. I am here to conduct a cleansing of honor. A stain on the cold family name must be erased from the root. Piccolo doesn't wait for him to finish. He lunges, delivering a full power kick aimed at Cooler's head. But Cooler doesn't even raise a hand to block. He simply glares. An invisible shockwave blasts from his eyes, slamming into Piccolo's chest. Crash. Piccolo's durable Namekian body is swatted away like a ragdoll, flying hundreds of meters, punching through 3 rocky mountains before coming to a stop buried under rubble. Krillin and Android 18 stand frozen. This power is a monster. Cooler doesn't bother chasing Piccolo. He turns to look directly into the camera as if staring through the screen, sending a declaration of war to his unseen enemy, Son Goku. Cooler calls the name. I know you are here. I will give you a chance to die like a warrior. He raises a single finger to the sky. A small sphere of blazing orange energy begins to form at the tip, growing larger and larger, radiating heat that evaporates the surrounding air. His eyes flashing with malice. I will detonate this planet's core and turn you all into cosmic dust. The camera zooms in on Cooler's terrifying face, then cuts rapidly to the shocked expressions of Vegeta and Goku, who are flying at top speed toward the battlefield. The screen cuts to black. The sound of high-pitched condensed energy charging rings out.